Hello, everyone, and welcome to the most extreme podcast in professional wrestling today. This is Extreme Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Arm. Joined as always is James Doe, and returning to and coming back for the first time in 2 months, the incomparable Lance Moss.
I think it's 3.
Oh, Lance Moss TV, I believe.
No, it's been about 3 months.
Oh, jeez, damn, 3 months. That's been a while. But yeah,
Hiatus.
he's
Gets
back.
you.
But let's get into the topics today. Obviously, on Raw, the main highlight is surrounding Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee, the Hurt Business, and Retribution. Basically, in a nutshell, the show kicked off with Drew McIntyre cutting the promo and basically saying that the match between him and Randy Orton will be an ambulance match. Now, Adam Pearce came out and saying if Randy Orton can't compete, obviously later on that night, which we'll get to, if Keith Lee were to beat Drew McIntyre, he would take Randy Orton's place. Well, obviously, it also earned in their card, like I said, I mentioned Hurt Business. They had a few matches early on in the night where Bobby Lashley beat Eric, and Cedric Alexander defeated Ricochet via lumbar check. But during the Cedric match, Retribution, came out, did cut a little promo on them. Hurt Business went to Adam Pearce and said, "We'll take care of Retribution for you, but at a price." So we get into and after all that, and Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre brawled in the back and all that stuff, we get to essentially the main event, which is Drew McIntyre versus Keith Lee. And basically the match was called off because Retribution got involved, and there were practically a lot of them, probably minus the female ones who we know are in it. And they were just beating up on Drew McIntyre and all that, and were just, kind of celebrating. And then Hurt Business came out in their nice suits and shirts, and especially for some reason, Bobby Lashley in all white. In just a white regular shirt and white pants and stuff. And everybody else was wearing, jackets, nice shirts and stuff. And they came down and Retribution and Hurt Business fought each other. There was a brawl, and it ended with Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee jumping over the top rope and landing on both Retribution and Hurt Business. And the final thing that happened was Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee were staring at each other in the ring while Drew was hoisting the WWE Championship. So, that was quite a lot to say right there. James, what do you think?
Well, it's really interesting, but I do get Retribution's attacks. I don't get the Hurt Business attacking Retribution because I don't like the fact that the heel team is attacking another heel team. But it kind of leads me to wonder what they actually are doing with the WWE Championship, and is Randy Orton actually really hurt, or is just this a storyline?
Yeah, Lance, what do you think on this?
I think with Retribution, that'll all be settled at Survivor Series in a few months. And honestly, this is going to end in one of two things with McIntyre, Orton, and Keith Lee. One of two things. Either a triple threat ambulance match or Orton and or a one-on-one ambulance match with either McIntyre and Orton or McIntyre and Keith Lee.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. For me, when I saw that, watching that go down on YouTube, I just got so. It kind of gave me the visual of think Retribution is like Nexus, bunch of young up and coming guys trying to prove themselves, and they're beating up all the other guys. I think her business as Evolution. They're kind of the African American version of Evolution, where they're all wearing their nice suits, and they're kind of practically outside of Retribution, the top faction there on Raw, or even in WWE, aside from Undisputed Era. But just the visual of that was pretty damn cool. Next we got Impact Wrestling, and to put it shortly, it'll be Rich Swann on one leg taking on Eric Young in what will essentially be for the Impact World Championship at Bound for Glory next month. I believe Rich Swann came out bad leg and on a crutch and all, and he wanted a match with Eric Young at Bound for Glory. And Scott D'Amore came out, and I believe, pretty much in a nutshell, Scott Moore gave it to him. And basically the match, it kind of ended with them brawling after that. James, what do you think of this?
As I mentioned last week, I kind of figured that this was what's going to lead, since Rich Swann did the attack 2 weeks ago. So I'm not surprised that this match was made for Bound for Glory. I wish there was like the old Impact where they had the Bound for Glory series to determine who deserved to be at Bound for Glory for the world title. But hey, it's a new Impact Wrestling. They always have the things we want, but there's a good opportunity for Rich Swann to get. Probably he might be winning that time.
Lance?
I have no idea what the hell's going on in Impact because I haven't watched in years.
Yeah, but
Just being straight up honest.
You're familiar with both guys because both of them were in WWE before. And Eric Young, in this case, is kind of going back to that maniac he was.
I'll be honest, the only thing I know about Rich Swann is he's a piece of garbage that'll hit women.
Yeah, but
that's my take on it.
Yeah,
he has a point. He has a point. Yeah, let's just move on.
Yeah. Next, we got ROH, Ring of Honor, and the tournament to crown the new ROH Pure champion. And basically, Jay Lethal took on Matt Castle, where he won, and Jonathan Gresham, forgot what his name, but he won. Both Jonathan Gresham and Jay Lethal, who happened to be the tag team champions of Ring of Honor, advanced in the ROH Pure title tournament. James, what do you think?
I haven't watched any of those ROH, but just hearing what you just said, I am kind of actually surprised that they let Jay Lethal continue on, but at the same time, Jay Lethal is one of the top stars in ROH. I don't know about the Grisham guy, but I just
both of them. He happens to be Jay Lethal's partner, and they are both the current ROH World Tag Team Champions.
Okay. Again, I haven't caught up with it at any point in time. So, and I know Lance probably haven't either. So I don't think Lance will.
I watch ROH right after HWR on Friday nights.
Okay.
Oh, so you probably saw the match then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since probably you and me are the only ones that have seen those matches, what do you think of the matches?
I thought, honestly, probably the best pure wrestling out there today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I did happen to see the match that Jonathan Gresham was in. From what I saw, oh my god, the match was really good. I didn't care about the Jay Lethal Dalton Castle match, but Jonathan Gresham's match, I forgot who he fought. Who did he fight? I can't remember his name. It was some Japanese guy, but the match was really good. And I believe he also a while back, I think the Japanese guy ended up beating Jonathan Gresham at one point. But that match was great. Obviously Jonathan Gresham won because he was the one that pushed for this title to come back and stuff. So it is was a pretty awesome match from what I saw. Next we got AEW and basically the tag team street fight. That is easily one of the best street fights that there is out there, where it's the Best Friends, which is a team of Chuck Taylor and Trent, also known as Trent Beretta, taking on Santana and Ortiz. There was a lot of OMG moments and stuff where I remember, I forgot but I know someone gave Chuck Taylor a power bomb on a car. And then I don't know who it was, but the match was seen, because usually street fights are always freaking awesome and stuff like that. James, what do you think of the match?
Now, I agree that this was a good street fight, and the fact that was it Trent's mom, Sue?
Yeah. I think it was Trent's.
Yeah. No, because of the fact that the AEW tends to use her, which is nice for it. But I just like it when, like, at the end, it's like you see her point her middle finger out of the window. Now,
Yeah.
do I say is a 5-star match like Dave Meltzer says? No, but it's close to it. But I would have given it a 5-star. But again, he's a AEW ass kisser.
Yeah, of course, yes. Freaking Dave Meltzer's always an AEW ass kisser because he always freaking hates WWE stuff. Les, what do you think of the street fight?
It was a good street fight. I'm just curious when Ortiz and Santana joined a death metal band. Well, that Corpse Pain.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that. Jesus. Next we got NXT. And we'll get to another side when it comes to NXT. A segment between Tommaso Ciampa and Atlas. Jake Atlas confronted Ciampa on the show earlier, and this set it up a match for next week. But during a WWE exclusive video on YouTube, Ciampa attacked Jake Atlas, and a bunch of guys came after him. And among them, Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly gets in Ciampa's face. He's like, "What's your problem?" And I'm like, "Okay, so I was kind of conflicted. Is he in Undisputed Era? Is he on his own? I have no idea." But James, what do you think of that? Because it kind of scratching my head, like, what? Like, yeah, James.
I'm sorry. I didn't know if I was muted or not, but with Kyle O'Reilly, he's tending to change his attitude more towards the peacemaker side. He's still part of the Undisputed Era, but they're also teasing a split up of the Undisputed Era. So I just, for me, I don't really get the whole. Is it because of what she was trying to do to help the peace or something? It's weird to me.
Lance?
I don't watch NXT, so I have no idea.
Yeah, but obviously, freaking this kind of Kyle O'Reilly turning babyface because,
yeah.
Well, obviously you've seen he's probably been babyface outside of WWE. I believe weren't Red Dragon babyfaces at one point?
He was a babyface when I think he won a world title. I think he was a babyface.
So this was kind of interesting to me to see him being in a babyface. I've seen him be babyface before. Like I seen a video where it was like a PWG video, and it was like I think Caliber or Excalibur, what his name is. came and attacked them. Yeah, I think he was one of those videos, and then lights went out and the lights came back up, and Kyle O'Reilly was in the ring, and he got a huge freaking pop. I'm like,
also-
so I'm aware that he's been babyface for a while.
He also did
But-
that when Adam Cole attacked him at one point on Pete.
Yeah,
He did.
I think I did see Adam Cole was in the ring, and that was kind of interesting to see. That I didn't think he was a babyface at one point. I've always known that Adam Cole was a heel, even with Kingdom and Bullet Club, obviously, but then he left and he became face and all that, and then came to NXT and yada yada yada. Yeah, this was kind of interesting. And then the next one, obviously, this is NXT, but this is NXT UK, and we have the Heritage Cup participants revealed. And if I can remember, here they are. And there's 8 competitors that are going to be in this tournament. One is a wild card, but they confirmed 7 of them in here, and those 7 are A-Kid, Dave Mastiff, Noam Dar, Flash Morgan Webster, Joseph Connors, Alexander Wolf, and Trent Seven. And we don't know who the wild card is. The one thing I think about this tournament, seeing what the rules and stuff are, it kind of reminds me of the Impact Grand Championship, where that had multiple rounds. This has 6 3-minute rounds, and it's basically 2 out of 3 falls, and you get a fall from pinfall, submission, and or knockout. James, what do you think of the participants? Do you agree with me? And who could the wild card participant be?
Honestly, I haven't watched a lot of NXT UK, but just looking at the list of people, your favorites will be either Alexander Wolf or Trent Seven. Because those two, Trent Seven, because he's obviously one of the founding fathers of NXT UK, and Alexander Wolf because of his career.
Yeah.
The wild card, could be somebody new that's in NXT, because honestly, the wild card, if you really follow wild card, Patrick Owner could have been, but he's no longer with the company, so I don't know. I don't know that in WWE.
Yeah.
Or NXT, sorry.
Lance, what do you think?
Well, first, I just heard that UK got brought back, but y'all
Yeah.
forgetting the one guy that should be in this tournament. The most vicious fighter I've ever seen in NXT UK, the bruiserweight Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
That's definitely a good wild card there.
Yeah, that would. It's I when I
If it is him, y'all, anybody else in the tournament, hide your fingers.
Yeah, obviously. I think it could be him. I could think it'd be Andrews. It could be, there's some possibilities. But I think the leading candidate is probably, when it comes to the wild card, is probably Pete Dunne. Like, there would be no question about it. Maybe Tyler Bates. Maybe. He could be another one.
Trent Seven's in there, why not?
Yeah, that'd be very interesting if Trent Seven and Tyler Bate ended up facing each other. But yeah, I do believe it might just be Pete Dunne, considering you got some of these names, and yeah, I think
I keep forgetting about Pete Dunne because he is a UK guy, but again, he hasn't shown he hasn't been on NXT, so, and he's stuck in Europe, so why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, he was at one point before the whole lockdown. He was one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions before the whole pandemic, and he has to be there. And then freaking Matt Riddle ended up getting Timothy Thatcher, who's been on pretty good roll since beating Matt Riddle in that pit fight. But I do think it's it probably will be Pete Dunne. And then finally, the last thing we got, SmackDown, which is the segment between, obviously, a Moment of Bliss segment between Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And Alexa Bliss was trying to explain to Nikki that she couldn't control it and all this stuff. Lacey Evans then came out, interrupted and stuff, and led to a match between Lacey and Nikki Cross. And before I get to the ending, during the match, Lacey Evans brought in a bottle of hand sanitizer and put it into Nikki's eye. And the ref didn't even call for the bell for disqualification during that. But getting closer to the match, Nikki ended up winning, and Lacey Evans then stared at Alexa Bliss, said to her, "What are you looking at? You're going to call the Fiend?" And that set Alexa off and hits Lacey Evans with the Sister Abigail, and she stayed through that whole trance-like state. Even in an exclusive, she just stayed in that look. But James, what do you think of this? The whole Lacey Evans using the hand sanitizer and putting it into Nikki's eye, and then Lacey getting hit with a Sister Abigail by Alexa Bliss. What are your thoughts on all this?
I'm gonna give the ball to Lance first for this because since Nikki Cross is his girl. Go ahead, Lance.
Well, first, you forgot one of the best parts about this entire segment. That killer promo Nikki Cross cut on Bayley.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Well,
Apologies.
It was a promo. It's a promo to hype up the Clash of Champions match. So, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, the way Alexa was looking that night, oh my, hell yes. But yeah, I'm starting to like how they're getting this new character they're doing with Alexa.
Yeah. James?
Well, for me, it's like, obviously, we want to have Alexa as Sister Abigail sooner or later.
Yeah.
When is it? I probably would say maybe after Survivor Series. If that, maybe sooner. Don't know. But, the whole hand sanitizer, WWE Lobby, you don't have to really get to it. It's just nod your head and let's move on. But yeah. It's gonna be. I mean, as much as Nikki Cross has a killer promo, I really think he's gonna win the title.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if Nikki Cross is going to win the title. I mean, they're setting up Bayley versus Sasha and stuff like that, and you saw what they did on Friday for that build-up. It just like, I don't know, are they gonna really put the title on Nikki Cross, or are they gonna keep it on Bayley so that Sasha dethrones her and stuff? Well, it's, even though I kind of would know the outcome, but I'm still like, I really don't know if the outcome is going to happen. Like, it's so confusing to me. Well, y'all got any topics y'all want to talk about?
News topic. Questions to both of y'all. There's been reports that Melina had re-signed with WWE. As you know, she has denied those reports. On Twitter, I think yesterday. If those reports are true and Melina has signed with WWE, what does that mean? And where do you think she would end up on? Let's go.
Lance?
Well, it's going to be awkward if she goes to SmackDown because her ex-fiance, ex-boyfriend, or whatever John Morrison is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think she join her best friend Mickey James on Raw and help her out?
Only if they do that. What was the name of their tag team?
I don't even remember the name of
I
their
don't even
tag team.
remember if they ever been a tag team. Oh.
were,
Yeah,
but
I
I
don't
just don't
remember if
remember
they've
the name
ever
of
been
it.
a tag team.
They've been a tag team, just I don't remember the name of it.
I know they were probably going up against like Cool at some point, but I don't remember if they were ever a name. Maybe they were just Mickey James
And they'd
Melina.
like kiss right before they get in the ring. Which okay,
I honestly don't know if that's gonna be even possible. I really just don't know. Yeah, if she did side or not. It's just
Well,
the
for
question
me,
to follow up with that is who would she face? Really, I mean,
everybody.
like who would be the most likeliest of people if she did end up coming back to WWE and stuff? I just really don't. Well, yeah, obviously everybody, but who would be immediate opponents that? Who would
These
be
are all
immediate?
women she's never stepped in the ring with.
Well,
Everybody.
she's fought. She's probably fought Natalia and Mickey James at some point.
Oh yeah, but that's still a big roster for her to go against.
all right,
Yeah.
for me going into that question, if I really say it, I think she'll join Mickey in a tag team and then basically feud with Natalia and Lana. And really, honestly, uh, it's hard. For me, the only reason why I don't think it's true is because I don't even know if she. I thought she signed with NWA. It was with the Thunder Rosa.
I think they are, but then you realize Wade Barrett was with NWA and he just re-signed with WWE.
Well, there's a difference because they needed somebody to replace Morrow since he quit on good terms.
Their contracts might have ran out though.
I think this.
Do you think it would have been only a year contract though? That's the thing.
Maybe.
That might be true, but it's. I honestly don't know about that or when it comes down to who she could face. I mean, if they're gonna use her in the kind of the mid-card, that would make sense. Her teaming with Mickey to go in against Natalia and Lana. Jesus. Or they could put her Slaughter into like the main event scene and have her have matches with the likes of Bayley, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Becky. Those two when they come back. Asuka. Those are names I don't think she's ever fought before, and it would be very interesting to see her face those names that I mentioned. Hell, maybe even just keep her away from Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Those two could murder her. But if she's going up against some of those names, I think it would be a really good matches. Yeah. So, Lance, you got anything you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. Well, I might have a few things that I feel like we could. I had been thinking of some topics that I thought we could talk about. I don't know if I want to talk about that, but I thought of if I were to look at something like that, some of the some topics that I didn't really that I left out, but why not we talk about let's talk about Roman Reigns. obviously the run he's having right now. And obviously, if he is a heel and he's going to hold on to the title, he's probably dropping it at Mania. Who could he successfully defend it against on that roster that are baby faces outside of Jay? Because obviously he's facing him at Clash of Champions and potentially face probably Big E at WrestleMania. That's what I was thinking. Maybe if they're going the whole singles run with Big E, it would make sense to have him win it at WrestleMania. I mean, 2 years after Kofi Kingston won, it'd be kind of a feel-good moment. Obviously, they would probably put it in the main event because why wouldn't they? Vince McMahon would always put Roman Reigns in the goddamn main event. But who do y'all think could face Roman Reigns all the way up to Mania, where he will probably drop it? Lance?
Well, I'll tell you who he's probably going to drop it to at Mania, and it ain't Big E Langston.
Okay, well, who do you got?
Look very close, near Roman Reigns when he's in that ring these past couple of weeks.
Sheamus? No, Corbin?
When Roman is in the ring, cutting a promo.
I mean, really? You're really gonna Brock Lesnar?
He's still under contract, and they are going to put the belt back on him. He's done how many?
Lesnar is not under contract.
Huh? What'd you say, Lance?
He's done how many jobs at WrestleMania?
Okay, let me think about that. He's lost at 20 to Goldberg. He's lost at 29 to Triple H. He's lost at 31, where Seth Rollins came in and cashed in but pinned Roman Reigns. What was next?
With a lot of jobs.
35, he lost to Seth Rollins. And then last year, and earlier this year, he lost to Drew McIntyre.
So they might put the strap back on him at WrestleMania.
Of course, all those names are, top guys in the company at this point. Triple H is a big top guy in the company. Seth Rollins. Oh, wait, Seth Rollins is the only one to have beaten him twice at Mania. Yeah, obviously. Although he didn't pin Brock. He didn't pin Brock until 35. But yeah. Oh, wait, he didn't lose to Roman, though. I mean, he beat him at 34. But, I mean, well, maybe. Maybe it could be a triple threat. If you still want Brock in it, Brock, Roman, and Big E.
No. And a lot of people know I despise triple threat matches.
And honestly,
is he breaking up as much for you as he is for me?
Yeah, it's been like that, but I've been trying to press on with that. I went through that, I think, last week, but I was trudging through it. If I were to think of people who Roman could face, Daniel Bryan, if Daniel Bryan does come back. Obviously, remember Roman at one point he said there would be one person I would turn heel to, and that would be Daniel Bryan. He has stated that. He's
already heel.
Huh? Yeah, he's heel. But he would be more of a heel if he fought Daniel Bryan. All right, let's see if he comes. I'm trying to think of who else there who else is there that are baby faces there? Otis, but I don't know. I don't know if that would be, unless he invokes it and just it ends up being a one-on-one match.
I hear they're trying to find a way to get the briefcase off of Otis.
Maybe have John Morrison face Roman Reigns. I don't know if John Morrison's a face. I mean, the way he was talking, I don't know if
heel. Morrison's heel.
Let me look who else is a baby face there on SmackDown.
Just because I want to see him get the hell beaten out of him, bro.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jeff Hardy obviously would be another sense, but that's only if Jeff Hardy ends up losing the Intercontinental Championship. But I obviously think Jeff Hardy, AJ maybe, but I think AJ could be. He's kind of one of those that's in between. I think in that case he kind of would have to be the face, because Roman isn't gonna ditch the heel thing until after Mania.
And I'll say this: he needs to ditch the "this is my island" thing. Because, one, he does not have a quote island gimmick. He wants to go with this whole "I'm a heel" thing. He beat the dead man in his yard. Call it his yard and get massive amounts of heat.
Yeah, he did say, "This is my yard. This is my yard. This is my island. This is my WWE."
Yeah, they need to get rid of that. This is my island thing. He ain't High Chief Peter Maivia. He ain't High Chief Roman Reigns.
The Samoan is not an island.
Rikishi is an island, but
Samoa is an island. That's why he's going island.
Yeah, American Samoa is an island.
That's true, but I'm talking about his gimmick.
Yeah. It just comes to, yeah, that's just, I'm thinking when it comes down to it, I think those are the only names I could think of that Roman Reigns could face. Obviously, the whole Survivor Series is coming up, and that'll probably be brand to brand, invitational, and all that stuff again. But with the exception of that, there's Hell in a Cell. There is, what would it be next? TLC.
Yeah,
what's after? Yeah, that TLC, then Rumble, and then whatever the next pay-per-view is for SmackDown. Then it's Mania. So I literally think the only ones that could potentially face Roman in between now to Mania would be Jeff Hardy, Daniel Bryan, AJ, who's kind of a tweener. Maybe Sami Zayn, but I don't know. He's probably a heel unless
if he wants to get eaten.
But I'm saying this: whoever loses that triple threat Intercontinental Championship ladder match might end up going after Roman. Jeff has been wanting to face Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but he's also been wanting to go after the Fiend.
Yeah, I think going after Roman first, and then maybe the Fiend could come out and maybe cost him, and then that could end up having Jeff Hardy bringing out Willow, and he says he wants to bring out Willow in WWE. Then that would be really freaking awesome, seeing Willow versus the Fiend. That would be pretty awesome.
I'm still nervous about the Hardys bringing in their other gimmick because it worked so well the last time.
Willow was okay.
Yeah. No.
Willow was okay in Impact.
And I'm saying because the last time one of the Hardys brought a non-WWE made gimmick in, it worked so well, didn't it?
Oh yeah, the Woken Matt Hardy, of course. Yeah.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, like why? Yeah. Yeah. Uh, James, you got any topics
I
you
don't
want to bring up?
know.
Okay, then. Well, we're probably ending this early then.
Yeah.
Um. Thanks for all watching. Obviously, thanks for Lance. You got anything you want to say before we leave?
Yeah, check us out every Tuesday night. I go live on Cosmos TV and friends. I never know who's going to show up. And well, some weekends I go live on my channel with a bunch of people that just shoot the shit. So yeah, come by, check us out.
Mm-hmm. Well, and on that bombshell, we will see y'all next week. Until then, we will see y'all later.